While studying abroad is never easy, one of the biggest challenges students face is finances. There's a lot of financial mistakes, especially because you don't know what's going on in a different country, different culture. But one of the biggest mistakes students make is not building credit. Ayush, tell us why this is a big struggle.
Yeah, coming to the US only about a couple of years after I arrived here, I learned that the age of your credit is very, very important determinant of whether you get good loans, you get loans at good interest rates. And as I was building my career in the US after my graduation, I learned that I should have started building the credit very, very early in my career, and maybe even as a student. And I think it's important to start learning how to do that. One way to do that, one hack to do that, is to be able to buy preloaded cards or get preloaded credit cards that banks provide you when you're a student. So when I was in the University of Michigan, PNC Bank gave us free pullovers or free jerseys. And as a condition for that was buying those preloaded cards. So I think we went to their booth as a part of our orientation. And I was very lucky that my friends told me that, hey, getting these preloaded cards actually helps you build credit. So I think that's one of the things that I would say. Start early, start building credit, and start transacting with these cards. So eventually, when it comes to getting actual real loans for things you do as adults, like buying a car and buying a house and things like that, that gets counted towards your age of credit.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be ready to move forward in a big adult purchase and realize, oh, I don't have this credibility that these banks are going to be looking for. So start building it as a student. So once you're graduated and working, ready for big purchases, you're good to go.
Absolutely.
Friends, we're going to cover a lot of other mistakes to avoid and ways to navigate in saving money financially here in America. So stay tuned. Hey friends, welcome to Chai and Coaching. I'm Rob, and at Chai and Coaching, we're all about helping you thrive and succeed in your cross-cultural journey. I've been lucky to work and travel all over the world, and when it comes to money, finances, baking, savings, it's never easy. And we've got a great guest today. We're going to be talking about some of his mistakes that he's made, what to avoid, and how to come out on top with more money in your pocket when you graduate and are working here in America. So Ayush, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Ayush. I'll just give you a quick glimpse of what I did in America. I came here for my master's from University of Michigan, where I did my MBA. And quickly after, I started working in the US, and we're all over the US, predominantly Midwest, so Wisconsin and in Texas recently. My background is I was an engineer all my life, and then much like a lot of your viewers, I eventually moved to running businesses, ran startups in the US, and more recently grew a company from seed stage to Series B, which is a dream. And now I work for Aspora, which is trying to be one of the biggest fintech and financial remittances companies in the country today. So that's what I do now.
Awesome. I'm excited to learn. There's some new topics to me, and I can guarantee these are going to be new topics to our audience. So friends, make sure you stay tuned and watch every single point. It's going to add up to being more and more dollars saved in your pocket. Okay. So the next biggest mistake is missing out on credit card rewards. So credit cards help build credit, but they can also hook you up with some special things. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you start building credit, as you start, getting these credit cards in your pocket, I think one of the things that you will see on campus when you start your student journey is that a lot of credit card companies will give you rewards based on referrals, based on usage, and some of them actually even give you dollars in your pocket right away. So what you can do is you can basically shop around and find the credit cards that give you the most rewards early enough. I'll tell you why. Because when you're interviewing, you're applying for jobs, right? What you want to do is you want either the companies to cover your travel costs for interviews. I think it helps. But at the same time, when I make sure that the cards, benefits, and bonuses you get, you utilize them for, let's say, buying flights and tickets to wherever you want to be. So just from a very simple financial sense, just making sure these rewards go towards something. Buy credit cards that are linked to airlines. Delta is a great example. United is another great example. Depends on where you are, where university is, which hub is nearest to you. I think that is a very, very good travel hack, as well as you're buying groceries on a daily basis, you start building those rewards and they count towards your flights as well. So I think that's how I would think about that.
No, I totally agree. We benefit a ton. We have some airline credit cards, a hotel credit card, because we travel a lot, which means we get free flights, free hotels, free upgrades, free lounge access, so many perks with these credit cards. You get earlier boarding, free luggage, or buy so many nights, get an extra night free with your hotel, or some have great cashback incentives as well. So really it depends what you're into. If you have a favorite store you like to shop at or a favorite hobby, maybe get a credit card tie with that, because then you get a lot of benefits, bonus, discounts. And so do your research. There's a lot of great ones. Again, manage your credit cards, use them, pay them off, don't get them into debt. But if you're smart with them, you can really come out on top with benefits, cash back, rewards, really just make life more fun. Ayush, is there a favorite credit card that you've used over the years that's really hooked you up?
Yeah, and this goes into lessons learned as well. So I started with Delta's credit card. I think it was I think it's called the Gold credit card. I built a lot of points on it, and I think when I was in Chicagoland, it was great to travel because Chicago was nearest to a Delta hub. But as I've traveled around the country, realized that in Houston, Texas, the United credit card, for example, is the more important one because you have United Hub here, and my Delta doesn't apply anymore. But I think that's just a lesson learned. And as you kind of figure out what your credit card strategy is wherever you are, I think about the airlines that are near to you, and make sure you buy the credit card or you get the credit card that you need. So in my case, it was Delta to start with, which I actually really enjoyed because it gave me a lot of lounge access, like you said earlier. But now it's United that I use, and it helps me get the added lounge access and free luggage. I think free baggage is a good thing that you get out of these cards.
Yeah, that's some great practical tips. Along with travel, a lot of you guys, when you come to America, once you start working, probably going to buy a car. Cars are expensive, getting those loans. And a huge mistake is how you buy a car, where you buy a car. And one mistake people make is not knowing about credit unions. So how can this be helpful?
Yeah, credit unions offer typically the most reasonable interest rates compared to the market. These are smaller unions. They want to they want to attract new customers quite quickly. So when I was in school, I was able to get essentially I was able to apply for DCU for credit cards and DCU car loans. And I think the most attractive thing about them was the interest rate was very, very, very low. So that's what got me hooked to making sure that I can build credit with them, but also at the same time make sure whenever I graduate, I get a car, I can come through DCU. Now, this is not just specific to DCU. You have a lot of credit unions. Sometimes universities will have their own credit unions that you can build credit with. The challenge there is that once you move out of campus, that those credit unions may not have good banking access for you. So I think you just have to figure out which credit unions you go for early enough. Obviously, in conjunction to making sure that you get you build yourself towards buying a car, make sure you get a driver's license while you're on campus. That is one of the most common thing I've seen Indians, at least Indian Aspora, do, which is they will not apply for driver's license, or for whatever reason they keep failing tests. Because again, driving in India is different from driving in the US. Right?
Yes.
You can probably tell. So it's very important to take those driver's lessons, spend the money and time that you need to, so you can eventually get the driver's license and then finally get a car loan through your DCU or whatever credit union you use.
Yeah, along with that, a big mistake is not getting your driver's license early enough. Sometimes it takes a while to go through that process. We also have videos on our channel, how to do the testing, how to get, apply, get the driver's license. It's not hard. You just got to plan ahead. You can rent cars, get that practice, and then eventually buy a car, especially if you have to drive and commute to an office. So plan ahead, and save money. Use a credit union. This is a new hack for me, and that's awesome that it's available to F1 students as well.
Absolutely. One more thing I forgot to mention was that you have to have driver's history as well.
Oh, okay.
When you get your driver's license, you build your driving history as well. So that's crucial also for applying for car loans, because they look at how much you've driven around. If you haven't had a lot of car driving history, not only does it get you the interest rate, but also gets you the insurance premiums. So if you don't have a lot of driving history, then your insurance rate is going to be higher. So you, as a student, you might end up paying more than an experienced driver. So there's another financial hack there as well.
Yeah. Another thing that's important in the abroad journey is moving funds back and forth. Whether you're paying tuition or sending money back and forth, there's a lot of ways, wire transfer, Forex cars, money wiring apps now. And over time, you can lose a lot of money with fees, exchange rates. So what's a mistake people need to avoid when transferring money back and forth between America and their home country?
Yes, this is very important. So when it comes to transferring money back home, let me clarify. Students typically will have money sent to you by their parents in India, for example, for their living expenses. But very soon after you graduate, that situation flips. Most of the times you have to either pay off loans or you have to pay off expenses in India. And the way you do it today, there's only two fundamental means to transfer money back to India. One is the digital remittance apps, and second is essentially some sort of physical transfer, which is you do through cash, through institutions like Western Union, right? So when it comes to digital remittances, these are fast, these are faster, and they have typically lower fees. Where we come in as Aspora is that we're trying to facilitate this transfer at the lowest possible fee and at the fastest and transparent Google rates. What you will see across different digital remittance platforms is that you will see that the exchange rate is lower than what the Google rate is, or they will run promotions from time to time to give you an attractive rate, but fundamentally they're going to give you a poorer rate on an average as you transfer money. So when I was in school, I actually started transferring money back home as gifts when I did my internship to delight my parents, or just give them a gift when I wanted to. And for me, when I use these apps, I was noticing that I would look up a rate, Google transfer rate. So if I were, let's say it was at the time it was like 75 rupees per dollar, and I would go in the app and I would find that the rate on the app was 73. So I was getting, a lower rate that I could have gotten had I had these options like Aspora, where you can actually transfer and get the exact same rate as Google rates. So now there's more transparency with apps like Aspora. Now there is essentially almost the first two transfers are free for Aspora. So you can basically get all free transfers, meaning no fee on any transfer. So now you have all these options where you can transfer money digitally, which are fast in a reliable way, and transfer that and get your parents that gift, and you get your first job or you get your first internship. And that's another hack that students must know today. You will also see that you get a lot of referral benefits to start with. So I think in Aspora they're running 25-25, which is $25 to you and $25 to your friend. So if you guys transfer about $500 or more back home. So there's benefits like that as well.
I love it. Yeah. Aspora is a great option. They are the ones partnering with us for this video as well. And yeah, check out that awesome exchange rate, especially those first couple free transfers as well. Definitely worth it. It's super fast, super smooth, very secure. We've got links below where you can check out more about Aspora and save money when you're sending money back home. So friends, if you're learning a lot in this video, hit that like button to say thanks and cheers to Ayush sharing these awesome tips. And our chai question for you friends who are watching is, what's the biggest mistakes that you've made in your abroad journey? Was it financial? Was it something else? Was it cultural? Would love to hear, tell us in the comments, what is the biggest mistakes you faced that you've learned from? Let's have some fun and learn from each other. So this next category is completely new to me. So Ayush, help us understand why it's a big mistake for people not to use NRE or NRO accounts.
Yes, absolutely. And this is one of those categories or one of those topics that's not very well known across student community. Today, when you move from India to the US, you would typically have a savings bank account in India, a normal bank account with checking savings, much like what you would have in the US, right? What happens is that when you move for a foreign country, it could be any country, if you live abroad for more than 180 days, you start to classify as non-resident Indian or NRI. Now, when you're an NRI and you start transferring money back to India, Indian government has to now understand whether this is income earned in India or it's an income earned abroad. And they have to then decide how should they tax this money transfer. The facility that Indian government has given you is that they allow you to open a new kind of bank account as an NRI. It's called the NRE account or NRO account. These are typically done together. NRE is a non-resident external account, which allows for you to transfer money from the US to India without having to incur taxes on the interest earned. So for example, let's say you're transferring $20,000 to India, or $10,000, just for an example. Typically, if you're transferring back to savings accounts in India, the government could consider you liable for taxes on the interest earned on that amount, because you may have made this income in a different country, and they don't know what the source of this income is, right? So for them, it becomes a very questionable thing to understand where this income is coming from. However, if your viewers have opened an NRE account in India, then they can be stress-free. When they transfer this money not to a savings account but to an NRE account, they can be stress-free. The government knows that this account has been opened just for repatriation of their funds from a different country. And that then allows them to be tax exempt on any interest income on this amount that's transferred back home. So that's the benefit of an NRE account. Now, NRO, which is non-resident ordinary account, that O stands for ordinary. That's used if you have any income in India. So that's the separation. It works. It basically, the way it works is that any money transferred to the NRO account by NRI is taxable in India. Any interest earned is taxable in India with the normal income taxes. So I would recommend that your viewers read up on what NRE and NRO accounts are. But the most important thing is, from a compliance standpoint, the moment you cross that 6-month mark, or you decide to stay longer in the country, which most students do, you need to absolutely, for compliance reasons in India, consider opening an NRE and NRO account. And the process today is not that simple. It's complicated and it's purposefully so sometimes. But overall, I think getting ahead of that is very important.
Yeah, so NRI, NRE, NRO, not confusing at all. So if this is your first time hearing it, go Google, go learn. And I'm sure you can find out online more details, but at least you're aware and can take advantage of this. And again, not lose money, not pay extra taxes. So this is a great hack.
Yep. And just as an added tip, if you use Aspora, you can transfer money to your NRE accounts once you open them, which is a very, very important thing. So now you're in compliance in India, making sure you're not getting taxed on your hard-earned dollars.
I love it. That's awesome. Okay, our final mistake is not using an HSA account. So Ayush, what does HSA stand for, and why is this something that our student friends are missing out on?
HSA is a health savings account in the US. And one thing as a student I did not know was how to navigate the health insurance in the country. It's definitely a huge change from India and any other country outside of the US. So first of all, I think one thing you should understand is that when you're a student, I think most of the times your health insurance is covered by your university. But when you're out of that policy from the university, you now have to go into the workforce. And in the US, health insurance is employer sponsored by that. So when that happens, typically, depending on where you are in the country, the health insurances and health benefits can be vitally different. However, there's something you can control, which is if through your employer you have an HSA account, you can start depositing money into that HSA account. So let's say you are a part of country where your deductible is very high, which means that you have to actually spend a lot of money before your health insurance kicks in to kind of cover your expenses. In that case, what you can do is you can draw that money if your health deductible is too high, which simply means that you have to spend a lot of money to even get the insurance to kick in. You can start drawing from HSA account, which you have kind of built up this kitty of money, which you can kind of use for health expenses. It's something that is such a huge hack. I had some friends who knew about it, some friends who did not know about it, some friends who really knew about it. They were using HSA accounts almost like an investment account, because HSA accounts allow you to tax-free actually invest the money into foreign markets, and you can grow that money with the markets as well. But what they had done after 2 or 3 years of working, they had this nice kitty of money sitting in the HSA account. When they actually got married and had kids, the health insurance benefits, the health expenses became much higher, right? And what they were doing was very nicely, they were just drawing the money out of HSA accounts just to make sure that health expenses don't actually over time burden them or cause a lot of stress. Because let's be real, after getting married or having kids in this country and you've been working for a while, health expenses do start going up. And that's where this HSA account can come in later on.
Totally. Yeah, we've used one ourselves before in different health insurance plans, and it's fantastic. They're tax-free. You can use them in a lot of different flexible ways. So do your research, see what's available. Not all insurance plans offer HSA, but many do. So depends on your plan, but a great hack to save money and not go broke with your medical health expenses here in America. Friends, don't forget to check out our partner for this video, Aspora. They are an awesome money transfer app and platform to send money from America back to your home country. It's fast, it's secure. They've got very competitive Google exchange rates, and you even get some free transfers to get started. So check it out. We've got those links. And this video has been amazing. Ayush, I learned some new stuff. I know it's really helped our audience. So thank you so much for sharing this wisdom from your own journey, your own mistakes, so people can avoid them, hopefully in the future.
Thank you very much for having me. This was a fantastic conversation, and would love to have your viewers benefit from some of the advice and discussions we had.
I love it. Friends, to keep learning, make sure you connect with us on social media like Instagram, LinkedIn. Make sure you're subscribed to our e-newsletter as well, with weekly tips and resources and upcoming live sessions. We love having you guys be part of this Chine coaching community. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time, friends. Cheers.